Are we recording? All right.
Hello.
Here we are. This is our new broadcast day. It's Wednesday morning.
Yes.
This is Wednesday morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. And we recorded this a bit for your viewing pleasure. I'm Vinnie. This is Vicki.
Hi.
And you're in a little bit of a feisty mood today, as usual. You do not like doing this.
It's not that I don't like doing this, but when I'm in the middle of doing something else, I don't like to stop.
Vicki, our whole life is in the middle of doing something else. I don't do anything like this. This last Sunday, I woke up and you said, "Are you going to Michigan?" We are what you call improv players in our life.
Right.
Nothing is planned. Nothing is executed properly. We're improv players.
Right. But I mean, we did do something that was a lot of fun on Saturday night. We went to the Polar Express Santa train.
We went to, yes.
However, Vinnie made it literally with 10 seconds to spare, if that.
I can tell you that no one on the train, other than me, would have been able to make that train. Nobody.
No. So Cassie had a soccer game. I wanted to pull Cassie early.
Okay, wait. Here's the thing you wanted to do. Our daughter played the whole game, scored a goal, played very well. The coach took her out 5 minutes ago, and you said, it's a brand new team. She played brilliantly. She did an ankle breaker move on someone, which is so much fun.
Yeah.
And she comes out for the 5 minutes left to go. And you said, let's take her now so we can get the Santa train on.
Yes, because the game started late.
What does it look like to every other parent? Oh, my kid's coming out. Let's go.
No. You even said they wouldn't have cared because I was stressing about the time.
Listen to me. You soccer moms, you yip, it's nonstop. You say you wouldn't have cared. There's no doubt in my mind. Somebody would have said, as soon as her daughter comes out, she leaves.
No,
it's the way women are built. No,
they wouldn't. If you've said you have somewhere to go, it's no big deal.
Listen to me.
And you just like to do everything last minute on the seat of your pants.
No. That's not it at all. And I'm not trying to be misogynistic. Men are built differently. And so I said no. You agreed. We won the game. We made the train. What's the problem?
Okay, first of all, we get in the car, and we're literally the drive time is exactly the time that our arrival time is the time that the train is going to take off. 12 o'clock.
And I knew I could shave some time off.
You shaved exactly 2 minutes. That's it.
That's because we got behind some jackass towing his pontoon boat down Route 29 Trenton. Who takes a pontoon boat for a ride on Saturday night? The guy's an idiot.
Right. So we get on the train, and you drop Cassie and I off. We run underneath a sign that says "Do not enter." We do it anyway.
Yeah. First of all, we went to park. The guy said, "I don't think you'll make the train."
Yeah.
Because he's a sloth. He's a sloth.
That's not nice to say.
He runs a parking thing.
So,
of course he's a sloth.
That's a job, Vinny. That's not
That's
nice.
my point. That's his job. He's not the CEO of Goldman Sachs.
No.
He's doing this all day long. And he said, "You're not going to make it." And I looked at him and said, "Well, of course you think that. You haven't made anything in life." Go ahead.
Oh, that's really mean.
Okay. All right. It's not mean. It's not mean. Okay, listen. He goes home at night. His wife goes, "How was work?" And he goes, "Up and down." That's what he says.
Oh, you're just getting meaner and meaner. Oh, my goodness.
No.
Talk about feisty.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying what it is. This is the whole issue with your generation. You can't just say what is. If that's your job, something went wrong. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, we get on the train, and I say to the guy that's the serviceman that's helping our car, my husband is parking the car. So he goes to the conductor, and basically he comes back and says, "We've held it as long as we can. There's another train coming in. We have to move."
Mm-hmm.
To which Mariam says, "Well, can he jump on if it starts moving? He's very nimble." And he goes, "No." And I was like, "No, Mariam." And so with that, the train starts moving. I literally had just turned to Cassie and said, "Sorry, Daddy didn't make it."
Now, how far did I have to run?
You had to run very far.
At least a quarter mile.
Yep.
Okay. And we got there with no time to spare.
Yeah.
And I had to go around idiots, again, people that were waiting for other people to pull out. just go another 30, 40 yards or whatever it is
Mhm.
and walk your fat ass those extra 4. Now we're going to wait. We're going to wait for Mary. I didn't even tell you this. So a car was pulling out and this guy was waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, I'm not going to wait. Because also the person pulling out shouldn't have a license. I can see what she's doing. It's awful. She has no, it's a late model car. There's 900 cameras on the car. She's not using any of them. Or if she is, she doesn't know how to use them. So I went around the guy waiting and she then pulled out. Now, a more time-conscious human being would have let her complete the process. And I just looked at her and shook my head, no, because you took too long to get out. You've lost the initiative. And so she pulled back into her spot and I barreled down another 100 yards and parked like a gentleman and then ran.
Right. And so I literally had just turned to Cassie and said, sorry, Daddy didn't make it. My phone rang and you said, Vic, where are you? I'm on the train.
Yeah, I made the train. Let me tell you how, when I got to the platform.
And the train was moving.
I said, I got to get on there. My family's on there. And the guy goes, hurry. And I stepped on and it went like old Western movie moving.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me just tell you one thing. Let's say this now one time. Let's not make a big deal out of it. All right? You do this all the time. And everyone that knows and watches knows how much I love you. You know that I'm up against the wall. And you know that I'm either going to make it or not make it. Yet, for some reason, you insist on calling me and making me answer the phone to say, yes, I know, I got to run. It's bizarre to me.
I know. I said, Mary, I was like, where is he? I go, I don't know. I'm aggravating him. I don't know.
You're calling me and you're saying, hurry up. I knew that when the guy said you're not going to make it. When the sloth gate guy said you're not going to make it, I knew there was no time for calls. But you will do this all the time. I'll call you up. I'm 3 minutes away. A minute and a half later. Where are you now? Well,
because
I'm a minute and a half away.
You're not always truthful where you are.
That's not true.
No, it's not. Everybody knows it. You're not always truthful.
What do you mean everybody knows it? The only people who know it are the people you bullshit on this podcast. and I'm going to tell you something. I walked down the center of that train. Because I got on the first car. You were on the last car.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to tell you something. There wasn't one human being that I walked by that I looked at that said they could have made that run.
Mm-hmm.
It was Heisman-like. It was unbelievable. I had to jump a couple big things. I had to go in and out of traffic cones. It was an amazing run.
I couldn't believe it that you made it, especially after I saw where you parked.
Well, when we got back, all the other cars were gone. Like, Vinnie, we couldn't even see our car. It was so far away.
No. You couldn't even see your car. Yeah. Big props to you to make it. Honestly, I was like, oh, man. I was so deflated when the train started moving because I said, oh, he didn't make it.
I didn't tell you this. It's safe to tell you now. If I had gotten to that platform and the train had just started, I would have jumped on the train.
Oh, my God. See,
yeah, because it's got a big running board on the side with a rail. I would have jumped on. And then they would have had to let me on and they would have screamed and yelled. But what's going to happen? We're not arresting people when they loot a store. What are they going to do? They throw me in jail. What are you in for? I jumped the Santa train. So I would have jumped on that train.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm getting on that damn train. All right. But I didn't have to. That's the good news.
Yeah, that is the good news.
But I would have done it.
Yeah.
And I think they would have been pissed off.
Yeah.
But honestly, like the guy went around. I know he's pissed off. He's probably telling the story right now. And the girl that had to pull back into her spot, who took 7 minutes to get out of her spot, she's talking about it. And it's okay with me because she didn't do what she had to do in life to learn how to drive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, by the way, that it was necessary a woman. I am presuming by the way she pulled out.
Oh, sure.
So let me tell you something else. I am happy that we're back to pre-pandemic normalcy.
Yeah, well, I actually...
you know what I'm going to talk about?
People getting COVID and not wanting to test.
How about the fact that one of our friends got on the Santa train with what looked like Ebola?
She did.
I looked at her and I'm like, holy shit, you're in a small little cabin.
It was a small, yeah.
And you could look at her and you knew she was sick.
Yeah.
Like really sick.
She wasn't feeling well. Yeah.
I said to her, can I say her name?
No.
Okay. All right. So I looked at her and said, hey, Samantha, you guys, maybe you don't feel good. And she goes, I feel terrible, but we had the tickets. That is so pre-pandemic, right? Because make sure I'm not over-modulating, by the way. So pre-pandemic,
Right.
nobody, you had diarrhea, you just went out.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody got a little touch of whatever you had.
Yeah.
You didn't cancel plans unless you didn't feel good.
Right.
You're never concerned about how someone else might feel after their close interaction with you. Right? That's how venereal disease, AIDS, and the flu spread throughout the world. People.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I don't know if you remember the night before Tabby was supposed to have her surgery on her arm when she was little. We had a house full of people.
Yes.
And Madison had gone upstairs and she vomited everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I came down and I said, well, guys, good news, bad news. Bad news is Maddie vomited. Good news is the party doesn't have to end because she's already exposed it to everybody.
Right.
So
And
everybody
nobody
just stayed. Nobody left.
Stayed.
Everyone stayed.
So your friend looked like death on devil. We did the train ride. And by the way, when I was in Michigan, I wasn't feeling good. And I thought, is this the delayed reaction of my interaction with so-and-so? Now, afterward, we're going to go to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to her, I got to get you some medicine.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and get you. You look bad.
Yeah.
I said, thank you. And I go inside. I said to her husband, I'm going to go get her medicine.
Yeah.
It's a mile up the road. And he goes, I guess, she's fine.
I saw that. Hey, are you supposed to have a 4 o'clock call with somebody?
Yeah, but we'll get to that. They want to work for me. You have to understand the rule in life. All right.
Don't you think you should give them a heads up?
When
not
King
making the
Fahd,
call?
when King Fahd of Saudi Arabia has a meeting and you want to sell him a helicopter, you sit in a room and you wait for the king to do whatever the king does. He could be on the bidet, doesn't matter.
So you're the king? You're the king?
I'm King Fahd. And this is how you say his name. I'm the king.
Don't you think you should just text and
No.
say you're going to be later?
No. I'm not going to stop it again. I'm not like you. Oh,
Can
no.
I text and tell him
No,
you're going to be
he'll
late?
be fine. If he calls in, we'll handle it. We'll handle it.
It's literally 2 minutes.
Vicki, we're in the middle of a podcast. We can't just jump around because someone wants to sell services.
I know, but it's the polite thing to do to say, hi.
I see, this is a mistake.
This gives me agita.
Okay, if I
Gives
am
me
polite to
severe
him,
agita.
no, let me explain. You'll agree immediately. If I were to be polite now, I'd be setting a tone for the rest of our relationship.
That you're not really polite?
No. Well, the tone being that I'm responsible, and that tone.
I think you should just text him.
Vicki, I don't have his number. I don't have his phone number.
You have his email.
I can't text an email.
You can email. I'll email.
Why don't you just have somebody listen? Just for a second. First of all, it's 3:59. I want to see.
Just let me tell him that you're not going to make it.
There's another thing too, right? Like, let's see if this SOB is responsible. Maybe he won't give a shit, and I want to hire someone like that. I can't have someone like me working for me. That breaks the deal. I need someone who isn't like me to straighten my shit out. That's the whole reason of hiring someone. You think backward. If he doesn't call
I don't think backwards.
Yes,
I
you
think
do.
politely.
What is his job? If we hire him, what's his job? To straighten me out. Let him know right from Jump Street it's gonna be a problem.
I can't do this agita anymore. I just can't. Just let me.
You gotta let him know. Let's see what happens. I'll keep my phone up here. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Let's place wagers on whether or not he responds on time. I've said it, and let's see what happens here. All right, now let's get into our topics. And if he calls us, are you really stressed out that much?
I just think it's a bad tone to set off.
All right, buddy. I'm now about to set a bad precedent. I'm going to let him know that I am mindful, and 6 months from now, he's going to turn to his wife in a very frustrated moment and go, "I don't get it. He started right on time. It's going to be your fault. It's your fault."
It is my fault. Thank you.
No, it's your fault that he thinks this way. Okay, I emailed, guys, so nice to meet you. Can we schedule a call for tomorrow afternoon around 4?
And did he respond back?
Nope.
Fuck him then. We don't want him.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, no, forget it.
No response.
No response. Nope, moving on.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
I may have
sorry.
inadvertently sent it to just. Let me see something.
I take that back then. Reeling it
No,
back.
he was on it.
Oh, okay. Then reeling it forward.
Nope. He was on the call.
All right.
And there is no number. I can't return a call.
Okay. That reminds me of when people come for a job interview.
Mhm.
And so they'll come for a job interview. Are we back on? Okay. When people will come for a job interview and then you'll call them for the job and then they ghost us for a couple weeks. And then they come back and said, can I have the job? I had some things going on. And, I had to move home. It's always some silly excuse. Like, short of you being in a coma, I don't want you. Like, I mean, unless you were something big that happened that would prevent you from calling, some big life moment. But other than that,
you know why the average kid doesn't come back down for a job? You know what the big event is that stops them from coming down? They found $20.
Yeah.
I ain't counting that money. I need the job now. I'm set. I'm telling you right now. It reminds me of the time I interviewed that kid, and he was all dressed nasty and shitty. And I said, "Did you come for a job interview?" And he goes, just waiting tables. His shirt was dirty. He had holes in his pants. I go, "But they're Vicki and I's tables. This is our business." And he goes, "I didn't think it mattered." I go, "It matters." Yeah. And so he was so nonchalant. And I said to him, "I'm not hiring you." I said, "I want you to go home tonight and tell your father he failed." And he started crying. And he's like, "Oh, man." And I'm like, "Oh, man, your father really failed." And because you're crying, right? You heard the truth.
Do you lack empathy sometimes?
No, there's no empathy for that. I have no empathy for that. I mean, listen, what he should have said to me is, and oh, by the way, you know how empathetic I am? I said, "I'll tell you what." Let me tell you. Because he was crying. And I said, "I'll tell you what. Come back tomorrow, dressed sharp, and I'll give you a brand new interview like nothing happened." He's like, "Okay. Thank you." And they never showed up because he's a sloth. Okay. And
maybe he's working at the
could have been him.
Santa train now.
Could have been him. You really do have to say, right? I mean, they always say showing up is 90% of the battle, or whatever percent. I don't listen when they say it, but it's some percentage they say. Showing up is half the battle.
Half the battle.
50% of the battle. All right. So anyway, say when he calls, I'll take the call if they call. Okay. Now.
Well, I already don't want him because it's already 4:04.
Well, around 4, I give him a little leeway here because also he did not confirm that. He did not respond. We don't know what happened. We'll find out. This is where you lack empathy. You're just cold.
No. But speaking of things that have happened.
And a lack of empathy.
One
of my favorite subjects is how we over-accommodate everybody. Right? So in other words, you view the world the way you view it. And I'm a boomer because I don't view it that way.
Right.
And so, and the reality is there's two, like, listen, I would never, I know I'm saying this, I'm not kidding. I would never paint my fingernails.
Right.
All right. Not even on Halloween.
Right.
Not even on Halloween. I'm telling you, not at a masquerade party. Never. Never going to happen. Now, Noah paints his nails.
Right.
But I know Noah is still a man. And no, Noah paints his nails. He does his job. He does his thing. It's not intrusive. All right. Now, I will tell you, Mark McCoy used to paint his toenails. And that was a problem for me.
Why? You never even saw his toenails.
A whole different level. No, I mean, listen, when Noah paints a fingernail, I think he's saying to himself, when I was young, I always wanted but never had a Barbie. And he does that nail painting. It's his way of reclaiming some denied youthful interaction with a doll.
You have really put some thought into this.
No.
You really have put some seriously thought. I have not thought about it not one time.
Okay, well, what do you think's happening? You think he's looking at his hands going, "I need to gussy these up"?
I don't know.
Okay, listen to me. When I see, I can't say the next thing.
Don't.
Nothing to do,
What did I say today? Today you were talking.
I just want to go on record. Yeah. What I will not say has nothing to do with Noah.
Right, but you were talking to Noah earlier, and you were being funny, and I said, one of these days you're going to get us sued. One of these days you're going to get us sued. What did I say again now? Don't repeat it. See, Noah is immune to it. He doesn't even hear it anymore.
No one should hear it.
You said it!
No. But when I say something, you have a right to not like what I say. But the whole premise of free speech is, unless it's calling for unless I'm inciting some type of violence. Not what I said today, to incite violence. I said we should chop off Noah's painted finger. Now, what did I say?
I'm not
Can you
bringing
write
it
it down
up.
so I know?
No. We're moving on.
All right.
So, speaking of empathy, so at Chipotle in Ohio, a woman got very mad about her burrito bowl and slapped an employee.
This is the burrito bowl incident that Vicky's referencing.
That poor girl. This is a long video.
Yeah, they should have edited it. I have zero empathy for this girl. Oh! Okay, now let me tell you. All right, let me tell you something right now. There's so much.
I like that her mom is yelling at her.
So much to unpack here. So much to unpack. How about the guy in the foreground here who doesn't help anybody, just gets the video? That's the other thing. That guy getting the video, all he's saying is, this is going to go viral.
Yeah.
That girl's wearing what seemed to be pajama shorts. And another pet peeve of mine, I could have told you when the girl left her house, this girl needs to do time in jail. Because she's leaving the house in pajama pants, which you shouldn't do.
No.
All right. It reminds me of the time that we'll get to that in a second. So
she
what
now
happened
has
here?
to work. She was sentenced to 180 days in jail, and she can get 60 days shaved off if she works 20 hours a week at a fast food restaurant for 2 months. So she
Okay.
agreed to do that. Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know how that got 180 days in jail.
Yeah,
I mean, that's 6 months in jail.
Yeah, that seems very excessive given.
Wait a second. Is this a multiple offender? Has she smacked people with a burrito bowl before? While we're talking, please Google that. There's no way that's a first-time offense. All right? You could walk into Louis Vuitton and walk out with a bag and not do 6 months in jail. And so this is a problem here. But I will also tell you this. If it is her first time, good for the judge.
Yeah.
Good for the judge. You have to have a basic decorum. You have to know that you can't get upset over, of all things, your burrito bowl.
No.
And smack someone in the head.
No, it's crazy.
And in this video, okay, again, I point out the multiple failures that this girl has in her life. Okay, that's her mother. The mother should have intervened 3 minutes earlier.
Yeah, I feel like you know your kid. You know if your kid is a hothead, and unless this is the first time she's ever done it, and the mother's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind?"
Well,
but it doesn't seem to be.
It does not seem to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the mother yelled, but I'm telling you right now, all kidding aside, do not leave your house, except in extreme emergencies, in pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right. It's the beginning of the breakdown of society.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We saw it in the 50s with guys leaving their shirts untucked. So, here's the thing. Now, she has to work 20 hours a week at a fast food restaurant for 2 months in order to shave off 60 days, which means she's still going to do 4 months in jail.
That's a tough thing to go to jail. Like, what are you in for? Hitting someone with a burrito bowl.
Yeah.
That's tough. You have no jail cred with that.
Bitch, don't forget my cheese.
Yeah.
What do you even say to somebody? And
that's a tough one.
Well, I have to be honest. I can't agree with 180 days in jail. I think what he should have said, like a better punishment to me would have been 180 days of working at that fast food and giving all your earnings to the person you smacked.
Yes. I think that would have been a better sentence.
Yes. But I also think if this is the law of the land, this needs to be fully, you need to tell every kid in school.
Yeah.
You can't do this in Ohio.
No.
Vicki, we talk about all the time, and I think the society is falling apart because there's a lack of decency and respect for, you shouldn't need, I give you a good example. I presume there's a law against shitting on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not shit on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the law that stops me.
Mm-hmm.
What stopped me is a sense of decency,
Mm-hmm.
right? I should not shit on the sidewalk.
Right. Yeah.
I don't need a law.
Mm-hmm.
But two
I
things.
appreciate that you don't. Yeah.
but two things strike me as odd.
Go on.
Two things strike me as odd.
Yeah.
That there is a law against that.
Yes.
Because people are shitting on the sidewalk.
Yes.
And so at some point, a legislative body was convened,
Mm-hmm.
and someone said, the senator from New Jersey will speak, and he goes, "My esteemed colleagues, I say it's time we stop shitting on the sidewalk." And that whole process with the curly hair, it all unfolded. And that bothers me. So if we need laws like this, and the laws are on the books, this should be well articulated. This is why I said months ago in a podcast, you get a Singapore, that wouldn't have happened.
No,
Because everybody knows.
Been caned.
Well, you get caned right away. I think, are you in favor, or you think it's too strict a penalty?
I do think it's too strict of a penalty. Only because it doesn't look like any punches were thrown. Just
Well, was
a
the girl
bowl.
damaged? Was the girl she hit? Did she have a cut? Did she get stitches? Did she have an eye injury?
Yeah.
That's all the other stuff you have to figure out.
Right. But I do think that if she would have had to do some monetary compensation to the woman that she threw the burrito bowl, would be better suited, because people do some really bad things and they only get 6 months in jail.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't understand the sentencing, how somebody gets something and another person gets,
It's always very confusing. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I have a friend of mine, and in college, we went into Sears, and he wanted a fishing rod. You know the story. And he wanted a rod, and he took the two price tags and he switched them.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went and bought the rod that he wanted for a lower price point because he switched the tags. And they caught him, and he was convicted. And he had a suspended sentence. He had all kinds of problems and counseling and so on and so forth. Yet another guy I know took $5 million from the Chinese Communist government.
You know him?
I know of him.
I was going to say, I've never met that guy.
Don't mess around in Ohio.
No.
You take your fast food, move along.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of fast food and society going downhill.
All downhill.
Downhill. So Red Lobster did the Endless Shrimp campaign. It's $20 endless shrimp.
Wait, I don't get it. You pay $20 and
you get endless shrimp. Mm-hmm.
all the shrimp you can eat.
All the shrimp you can eat.
And what's the story?
So they lost $20 million because of it.
Wow.
And so they didn't think it would be as popular as it is. And so now it's $25 for endless shrimp, but they lost a ton of money. And you and I know that at certain buffets, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money. And
not on us. Let's point that out. Not on us.
No.
Yeah, well, you said it.
No. So we have
You know damn right well when Vinnie and I hit the hometown buffet, someone's getting hurt. Saddle up.
No, but years ago, we had a senior, was it a senior citizen?
Senior citizen group in.
Yeah, senior citizen
They're
group.
the worst.
They were in before all of the other customers. They came in early. And for the first time in Stress Factory history, we ran out of food. And they had Tupperware with them. They were putting it in the Tupperware. And when we said to them, you can't do that, they brought it to our attention, and nowhere in our advertisement did it say that they couldn't do it.
Right.
And so therefore they were doing it.
You tried to stop some woman. I'll never forget it. She pulled the ad out of her purse.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to a gigantic piece of full Tupperware.
Yeah.
And she argued with you, and you were being so sweet. You're going, but ma'am. She's going, doesn't say it.
I actually had to stand on chairs.
Yeah.
To try to herd them back.
Herd. Interesting use of words.
Because they were just all, they were steamrolling their way to the buffet.
A lot of fat
Steamroll.
words coming out of your mouth right now. Steamrolling, herd. They were grazing.
No.
You know what, Vicki? This is why old people, you should never mess with old people.
No.
Because they've been around and they've had more time, more experience in life than how to get even with you.
Yeah.
And I respect old people.
And they also say it was a firmness that you just can't argue with. Like,
You can't argue.
Nope, not
You
doing
can't.
it.
And the endless buffet, I mean, so you're sitting in the corporate offices of Red Lobster, and all the corporate officers are sitting there. And these men, and if there's a girl, these men and women have all climbed the corporate ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody in there didn't have the brains to say, hey, you know, statistically speaking, Americans are becoming larger. And it's probably because they're eating more.
Right.
We should not do an endless shrimp buffet. But, you know, when I was a kid, I think the reason Red Lobster did it, and ultimately, I wonder if this article isn't designed somewhat
To get people to come back out.
Yeah, because when you
It's
say
smart.
you lost $20 million
Yeah.
and you therefore raised the price to 25, you know, when you say you lost money, so how does the accounting work on that? So some accountants will say, well, you sold something for half off,
Yeah.
and therefore you still made money, but we're going to call the discount a profit. You lost the profit.
Right.
So this would be interesting to find out. I'd love to sit in that office because at Red Lobster, they could be saying, because that was a dying chain.
Well, it's funny because I've never eaten at Red Lobster, and I actually thought to myself, I'd like to see what that endless shrimp is.
Can I tell you something? When I was a kid, Red Lobster was the shit.
Yeah, it's where you went on a date. Like, it was fancy. You're going to Red Lobster.
Can I tell you something? You'll remember this. When we were facing our first summer, you and I were just dating. You had these killer Daisy Dukes.
All right.
Anyway, but during that summer, the city of New Brunswick was going through its annual summer convulsions of every business owner panicking. And I said, listen, I drove down Route 18 on a Saturday night in July. And back then it was Red Lobster, Ruby Tuesday, Bennigan's, and they were all packed.
Oh my God, Bennigan's, yeah.
Yeah. And I said, not everyone's at the shore.
Yeah.
These places are packed. Stop crying about who's at the shore and start marketing to who's left. And so, but Red Lobster was one of the businesses I cited way back then. I remember it like it was yesterday. And Red Lobster was a dying chain. This is a brilliant piece of marketing or a profound screw up. But the fact that they didn't just end it.
Yeah, I think it's marketing. I agree with you.
Yeah, because listen, let's look at that. You lost $20 million. You raised the price 20%. So you're going to lose $15 million. What are you going to lose now? And
I can't
again,
do math like that.
But doesn't it also make you, as a consumer, wouldn't you say, hey, you know what? They're going to end it eventually. Let's get the Red Lobster. It worked for you.
Yeah, I've never been there, and I say to myself, boy, I need to go there before it bankrupts.
Well, it's also, I'm sure I know this, because they always had a big deal. It's peel and eat. You got to peel and eat it.
Oh, that's gross.
It's so gross.
Yes.
You're ripping little legs off an animal and then eating it. It's so disgusting. I hate it. And sometimes they leave the turd in the shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, the turd's right in there, and people they eat it anyway. I'm like, I can't believe you're eating the endless turd buffet. It's so vulgar.
Ugh, I don't think I'll ever eat shrimp again.
That is the digestive tract, right?
Yeah, so gross.
Isn't it?
So gross, yes. Stop talking about it.
It is, right?
Stop talking about it. It's so gross.
You think the shrimp would have a
You know what?
decency?
If I had a burrito buffet right now, I'd be hitting you with it.
It is gross, but it is true.
Yeah, it is gross. And so our final topic that I want to talk about today, Washington, there was a gentleman who lost by 1 vote for city council because he didn't vote for himself.
Well, you know, he's saying that, but there's no way to verify that.
I think they did verify it.
Well, no, the vote is anonymous. The votes are
Well, they hand counted
Yes, but it's
555
still,
votes.
okay, your name's not on your ballot.
So you
Damian
think
Green could be full of shit.
You think he's lying?
I think that, yeah, I do. I think Damian Green is saying, I would have won if I just voted for myself. No one likes to lose. Damian said, well, I'll just say I didn't vote for myself. And people feel sorry for me. I mean,
see, I think our perspectives on life is different. You're the glass half empty, and I'm the glass half full.
No.
Because I don't think that. I think, oh, poor Damian. And you think, liar.
No, you walk in the walls and I open my eyes. Listen, I don't think Damian, like, how easy is this to do this? You know what happened, everybody. I'm not a loser. I'm noble.
Well, the winner, Ryan Roth, said he wasn't going to vote for himself, but his wife insisted upon it.
Also
after like repetitive prodding that he needed to vote for himself.
Also full of shit. Listen, I've run for office.
Yeah.
I voted for myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Not only did I vote for myself, I harvested votes. I voted for myself, and no, listen. You win the booth. Nobody sees what you're doing in there.
No.
And once you do or do not pull the lever, the vote is cast. It's so easy for Damian to say, "Yeah, you know what happened. I didn't vote for myself." Now, I have a healthy disbelief that this is accurate because they're both saying it. I wasn't gonna either, but the missus made me. Come on. You know how politicians are.
Yeah.
And it's such a...
No, I know. There are certain politicians that I really do like. And there is one that is in our community that has met me umpteen times.
Yep.
It friended me on Facebook. I didn't friend him. He friended me on Facebook.
Stalker.
And still acts every time I see him as if he's never met me before. Oh my God. Hi. Hi, Vinnie's wife. Nice to meet you.
It's so funny too. I'm the king of not remembering names.
No, you are.
And I know and spot all the tricks. Hey, Mrs. Brand.
Yeah.
It's, and you really just want to say, Gad, what's my first name? I'll vote for you. None of that really bothers me, but let me ask you this. I mean, I don't care because I'm bad with names. All right, but let me ask you this. You remember in that moment where you're going to vote for yourself because you're already desirous of the job.
Well, also, if there's only 555 people in your community, I mean, that's a pretty small turnout.
That's my point.
Only having 1,500 people in your town and you're going against your friend. Oof.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you really believe that both these guys were of the mind to say, I'm not going to vote for myself? No. See, the story, when I paint the perspective that I use in life, what you find yourself saying is, I think Vinnie's right. And it's difficult because it's so frequent.
Sure.
But honest to God, I don't think they agree. When I ran, I voted for myself. You don't want to lose an election. I think what cast doubt for me is that both of them said.
Well, I think that Damian, this is my perspective on it. Damian was truthful. And then Ryan looked like an asshole. So it's a small town. So he's like, I wasn't going to do it either, but she made me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
she made me.
I could go with that story.
Yeah.
It's a middle ground between me and the two rubes.
The two rubes, yeah.
So we have to do our FAFO video real quick.
Okay, really quick.
What do we have today?
Stuff to do.
See how she is? What do we have today?
So there's two new ones in there. You haven't seen any of these, but the ones I'd recommend are the slide stunt and the bottle trick.
Okay, let's do
slide stunt. It is. Vicki picked. I like it already. I love about this. The guy ate some teeth. Yeah. He's not permanently injured. And it's been memorialized for everyone to enjoy. Show me one more time just so I see it.
Okay.
I like the slow-mo effect.
Like, he's so proud of himself for doing it.
Well, he's got to clear his eyes. Rookie mistake. Oh, man. Take it. Oh, my God. Thank God that guy knee caught him. Otherwise, he would have caught a full face of...
Yeah. All right. What was the other one?
Yeah, I want to see that in slow mo. Oh man.
Yikes!
See, I would not have let her do it in any case because she doesn't look like.
She doesn't look very nimble and agile like
She's-
yourself jumping on a train.
I could have jumped on a train. I tell you this much: that girl wouldn't have made the train. That's a rough. And look, dear Scrappy, look at the guy. He's smiling.
I know.
This video is going to go viral. It's going to be great. And he's right. It went viral, and it is great, but for all
The
the
wrong
reasons.
All right, I'm out of here.
I love it.
All right, I'm Vicki.
Did you have fun today?
I had a great time. Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you,
leaving.
love.
Bye.
That was fun.